It's a gorgeous Saturday afternoon from Garden City as NE10 conference play gets underway between the Owls of Southern Connecticut State University and your Adelphi University Panthers. Live from William J. Bonomo Field, hello everyone and welcome to this exclusive presentation of NE10 Baseball on NE10Now.tv. I'm Joey Jarzenka. The Panthers are looking to come off a four-game skid that saw a combined 21-5 score last Saturday against ECC's St. Thomas Aquinas. Head coach Dom Scala told me yesterday, quote, Adelphi baseball does not get embarrassed. Well, we begin a doubleheader here this afternoon at William J. Bonomo Memorial Field against the Owls, where Tom Ambrosino will be making his second start of the season. On the flip side, the Owls are down 5 key players due to COVID-19 protocol, but head coach Tim Shea, looking for win number 497, will send out Brendan Ebert, who sits with a 5.40 ERA from a season ago. Owls Panthers first pitch is next right here on NE10Now.tv. Live from William J. Bonomo Memorial Field, it is the Adelphi University Panthers welcoming the Southern Connecticut State University Owls right here on NE10Now.tv. Hello again, everyone, and welcome to another edition of Adelphi University Panthers Baseball. I'm Joey Jarzenko. We cannot thank you enough for joining us here on this Saturday afternoon. It is 62 degrees and sunny here. Not a single bout of wind that we are feeling. We don't want to jinx it, but it is beyond comfortable and a fantastic day for spring baseball here on Long Island. Let's get things started here with the starting lineups first for the Southern Connecticut State Owls. Leading off in left field is Tony Zambito. The right fielder, Peyton Farina. The center fielder, Andrew Ainge, will follow Farina in the third slot. The cleanup hitter will be the catcher, Mike DiMartino. We do have a couple of stories to mention about him. The third baseman, Mike Ferret, will be batting fifth. Batting sixth is the first baseman, Jack Drury. Isaiah Walker is the designated hitter, batting seventh. Batting eighth is the shortstop, Tyshawn Diaz. And Zach Bedrzyk, the leading hitter from last season, will be hitting ninth, playing second base. On the mound for your Adelphi University Panthers is the all-time leading closer for in Panthers history, Tom Ambrosino, who, mind you, everybody, is making his second start of this 2021 abbreviated season. And right now we look at Tom Ambrosino, the graduate student from Staten Island, New York, St. Joseph by the Sea. And his ERA this season thus far, 3.86. He does come in with an 0-1 win-loss record in 7 full innings pitched, a 214 opposing batting average. And this time, ladies and gentlemen, the last game that he started was against Malloy a couple of Tuesdays ago on the 16th of March, where he pitched 3 full innings, allowed 6 hits, gave up 4 runs, 3 of them were earned, 3 walks, 2 strikes, 3 wild pitches in 72 total pitches. So we do know his stuff in the latter part of the innings are great, and they are electric, but on the mound when he starts, could be a little so-so. We will see what the deal is here. Here is the first pitch, and we are underway from William J. Bonomo Memorial Field. Leading off is Tony Zambito, and the senior infielder coming in to this season. Let's not forget, this is the first game that they have played this season. That ground ball is taken there by looks to be Tyler Becker, who just jolted in front of Anthony Cipri, and we will see what they're going to give that to start things off, as that ball did go just wide of Brandon Warwick. So that is now going to bring up the right fielder, Peyton Farina. We did mention in the open about how this team is missing about 5 players. Runner goes right now, and the tag is not in time from Anthony Cipri. And Tony Zambito is aboard at second base with a stolen base. So it looks as if they will give that a hit. Official scorer Ian Schreier will give that a first or a single to shortstop. The second pitch of the at-bat from Ambrosino is a called strike, count 1-1. A little bit about Peyton Farina, though. Last season, he did not play that much. He played 4 games, posted a 1.917 OPS, which is fantastic, but a small sample size, though. He did have a home run last season, 3 RBIs. That one is choppered, will roll foul, as the baseball does fall in front of Matt Alifano. So right now, we do have a runner on second base, which is Tony Zambito. Runner is in scoring position nice and early. And we did speak to head coach Dom Scala earlier about the pitching, and this is something that he did bring up explicitly. He did say, we simply did not do the fundamentals in pitching, defense, and base running. We were not aggressive enough at the plate, and it's that simple, end quote. Tom Ambrosino does step off the mound for a quick moment, but the reason why he did bring that up is because obviously a 21-5 combined score last week, 12-3 in the second game, and 9-2 in the first game against St. Thomas Aquinas. Here's the 1-2 pitch. That one is swung on and missed for called strike 3, as he is down on strikes, the aforementioned Farina. So with 1 away, that is going to bring up the center fielder, Andrew Ainge, who is batting in the 3 spot. Andrew Ainge, last season, he was not a part of this Southern Connecticut team. And he played last season at Binghamton in Division I for the Binghamton Bearcats in the America East. He made 5 starts in left field, 1 at the designated hitter position, and he now comes here playing center field. So he will be covering a lot of ground. And you do hear also, ladies and gentlemen, that from last week, if you did join us and you stayed with us throughout most of the broadcast, you did hear how the energy lacked on the first base side of Adelphi. Now you're hearing the energy is nice, loud, and the team is ready to go. Not saying they weren't last week, but you can see the difference in the energy from 7 days ago. Runner on second base being Zambito. Ainge at the plate. The 1-2 from Ambrosino. In the dirt and inside, and it looks as if that he might have gotten plunked. And that is what home plate umpire Nick Thull does say. So that will send another base runner along the base path. Zambito still at second, Ainge at first. That's going to bring up the catcher, Mike DiMartino. And when we spoke to head coach Tim Shea on Thursday, he had nothing but amazing things to say about his sixth-year senior. That ball's choppered to Cipri. He turns to Becker, and that one goes into left field. Coming home to score is going to be Tony Zambito, and Southern Connecticut State will take a 1-0 lead over Adelphi. My goodness. The second baseman, Anthony Cipri, tried to turn the 4-6, and that one will be most likely an error on the second baseman. We will get word from the official scorer shortly, and that is exactly what it is going to be. So Zambito does come around to score. Ainge is now at third base, and Martino will reach first base on the E4 on the throw. So something that was preached to me yesterday by head coach Dom Scala when I was on the phone with him. He spoke about the inter-squad game, and he spoke about how we worked on the fundamentals. We continue to work on that because last week and the week before against Malloy, where there were 5 errors, and with shortstop Tyler Becker holding 2 of those in 2 games, respectively, 1 and 1, not only the count, but also on the errors from what Becker had last week, he was livid, and for good reason. Not a good start here for the defense of the Panthers, but the third baseman, Mike Ferret, right now is in the box with 1 away. Runners on the corners with 1 out. Ferret will get you his numbers shortly. Tom Ambrosino steps off. Checks the runner at first. The Hamden, Connecticut native was a 2019 NE10 All-Rookie selection. And last season he followed up with it in the shortened season. 12 for 30 in the box. 10 games played. He hit 12 RBIs and 9 runs scored. And he was also a pitcher as well. He was able to help out on the mound too. We'll get you those numbers when they do become relevant. As Mike Ferret swings and misses for called strike 3. Now that is 2 outs on the diamond right now for Southern Connecticut State. That is the second strikeout for Tom Ambrosino. That's going to bring up the first baseman, Jack Drury, who checks his swing. Or he was about to check his swing. He asks Nick Thull what he thought about that one, with the count being 1-0. Runners on the corners. Here's the 1-0. That one is swung on, and Alifano is able to grab that one on a P5 to conclude the first inning. So, ladies and gentlemen, after 1/2 of baseball played here from William J. Bonomo Memorial Field, let's hold on 1 second here. Let's see what the deal is. And it looks as if that play will continue. And the reason why play will continue is because Matt Alifano may have stood on the line. And we do have a couple of players sitting to my right, and they are just as confused as I am here. So let's, I guess, reset. And instead, nothing crazy, as Jack Drury, instead of calling that a pop out to Alifano, he just grounds that one directly to Brandon Warwick. So really, it's all the same thing here, folks, which 1 run scored, on one hit, one error, and one runner is left on base. We're going to head to the bottom of the first inning with Alefano Cipri and Feliz due up when we return right here on Any10Now.tv. Well, for those that are wondering what did happen in that sequence of events just a few seconds before, we did get an explanation from home plate umpire Nick Thull, who did say that Matt Alefano's foot was on the cement just in front of the third base dugout. Why that is significant in this case? Because technically, which we do not see in a lot of baseball, is that when you step on that cement, it is considered out of play. So that is a decent explanation. We do want to thank Nick Thull for that one. And, regardless if anyone agrees or disagrees, that is the play. Regardless of it, Nick Drury did get out of it in a ground ball to Brandon Warwick. So let's forget about that and let's keep moving forward here as we do see Matt Alefano leading off for Adelphi University, down 1-0. And we'll get you a couple of stories that we did speak of to head coach Dom Scala about this exact scenario. But before we do that, we do want to speak quickly about graduate student Brendan Ebert. Berlin, Connecticut native, ended last season with a 5.40 ERA in the 2020 campaign. 5.40 ERA in all 5 games played. They were all in relief. And in his last appearance last season against Queens College, he pitched 2 full innings, allowed 3 runs, 51 pitches, and 3 walks. None of those runs were earned. That ball is hit into left field, and that is going to be caught quickly by the aforementioned Tony Zambito from the last inning of play. That's going to bring up the second baseman, Anthony Cipri. Before we get to that, the defensive alignment for Southern Connecticut State from left to right field, Zambito, Ainge, Farina. In the infield from third to first, Ferret, Diaz, Bedrizik, and Drury. Pitching is Ebert, and doing the catching is Mike DiMartino. Anthony Cipri, the second batter, is now due up. And again, St. Thomas Aquinas last time around. In the second game, he had a rough game where he went 0 for 4 with a run scored and a strikeout. And that was actually the second run of the game that he did score. Count being 1-0 right now with 1 away. So count right now being 2-0. Remember, folks, this is a doubleheader this afternoon. That ball is sent directly to Bedrizik, and he sends that one just wide left of Jack Drury. So that one will most likely be scored in E4, as that one was on the throw. And we will get the official score in just a second from our good friend Ian Schreier upstairs. And as we do wait for that, looks as if that they're trying to figure that out. Was he at first base in time is going to be the biggest question, and it looks to me as that he was not. So that clearly is a throwing error. So that will be an E4 as Anthony Cipri does make it to first base. That's going to bring up the right fielder, Tim Feliz. And Tim Feliz right now ranked 9th in the NE10. Or excuse me, ranked 9th in the NE10 with 5 runs scored. His on-base percentage, .357. And a runner is on first base. Ebert did check the runner. This is the first pitch of the at-bat. That one is in the ground. DiMartino handles nicely. Thinks about checking the runner at first. Instead goes back to Ebert. Count 1-0. Obviously, we did say that this game is a 9-inning game. The next game is going to be 7. We do want to mention to everybody the unfortunate news, and probably for those that do watch the weather most of the time, tomorrow is a rainout, and the postponed dates, or the dates that are going to be made, that one is a 1-6-3 double play. Yes, that is, ladies and gentlemen, a 1-6-3 double play for the second and third out. So we will bring you the rest of that shortly, but no runs, no hits, no errors, no runs, no hits, 1 error, and 1 runner is left on base, being Anthony Cipri. Let's head to the top of the second inning with the 7, 8, 9 hitters, Walker, Diaz, Bedrzyk, due up when we return right here on any10now.tv. So for those that were listening to my spiel just a few seconds ago, we were discussing about the weather and how tomorrow's pair of games to conclude the 4-game set, or 4-game series, if you will, was postponed due to inclement weather upcoming. And I think the biggest thing right now here is that getting these 2 games here in is absolutely key to start this NE10 season. Dom Scala did tell me yesterday that the chances are likely that it is going to be on April 8th and April 14th, and those little talks that he did give me were true, because those 2 are the dates that are going to be the makeups against these 2 teams. Well, let's head into the top of the second inning here, folks, and that's going to bring up the designated hitter, Isaiah Walker. Isaiah Walker, the number 7 hitter. And he made his NCAA debut last year on March 7th at Queens. And he did it as a pitcher. So he has never stepped to the plate wearing an Owls uniform, which, quite frankly, is crazy. And you think a lot of these players, too, who have been going through this COVID-19 issue, which obviously the whole world has, not only just a single team, but a lot of these players that head coach Tim Shea has brought in, they're a whole bunch of freshmen, and that one is skied high into right field. On the catch there is Feliz, and that one is going to be caught for the first out. So speaking about the amount of players that he has brought in, a third of these players have not been on this roster because a lot of these guys are freshmen. And just by looking at some of these numbers here, the biggest thing here, Mike DiMartino, who has been a really big mentor to a lot of these players. such as a Tyshawn Diaz, as he sends that one into left center field. That one is going to go into the gap. Cooper Johnson tries to cut that one off, and Tyler Becker could not handle that one, and getting in on a sliding double is Tyshawn Diaz. Umpires for this contest: Nick Thull, Michael Maliff, and Bob Cardinal. Home plate, first base, third base, all respectively. That's going to bring up the second baseman, Zach Bedrzyk. And let's not forget, folks, is that last year he was named NE10 Rookie of the Week on February 17th, 2020. He was technically by average, again, and we do bring this up all the time, a small sample size, but he was their best hitter last season, averaging .526, 7 RBIs, 7 runs, and an on-base percentage of a whopping .609 in 8 games played. He was 10 for 19 with 5 doubles, 7 RBIs, as we mentioned, and 7 runs as well. The 1-0 count for Bedrzyk with Tyshawn Diaz on second. Looking at some of the pitching woes from Adelphi University, we'll get you a few of those shortly, but right now, ahead in the count, and Tom Ambrosino doing the unthinkable, what most pitchers usually do not do, is make that turn and throw to second, or throw to Tyler Becker, if you will, as obviously the shortstop is the one covering the runner on second. But Ambrosino behind in the count, 2-0 right now against the second baseman, Bedrzyk. And right now with hits as a team, they give up 69 total hits. The off-speed pitch lands in there for a called strike, count being 2-1. The one good thing about what Adelphi does, and especially the pitchers here, and unfortunately it won't work in this case, as that changeup could not turn inside, count being 3-1. The Panthers pitchers lead the NE10 in making the opposing batters ground into double plays, where they've thus far allowed 6, and that ranks first in the NE10. So that statistic could work in this situation as Bedrzyk works a walk. And now that's going to bring up the top of the order in Tony Zambito, who we did see he singled to short. And he also scored the Owls' only run thus far, as Southern Connecticut State holds a 1-0 lead in the top of the second inning. Zambito signals bunt, but then pulls back. Counts 0-1. Runners on first and second. Bedrzyk at first, Diaz at second. Ambrosino on the mound. Here's the 0-1. Ball's down low. Nearly in the dirt. Jack Ryan does grab that one. Defensive alignment quickly from left to right. Gavilla, Johnson, Feliz from third base to first. Alifano, Becker, Cipri, Warwick, Ambro on the mound. Ryan in the backstop. This one is sent into right field. Feliz on the run, and he catches that one. Tim Feliz grabs that one. Looked like a snow cone of a catch. The runners will advance. Or, excuse me, the runner will advance, being Tyshawn Diaz. Bedrzyk stays at first, and Zambito out on an F9 for the second out of the inning. That's going to bring up the right fielder, Peyton Farina, who struck out in the first inning. That ball is hit foul. Off-speed pitch, count 0-2, lands in just nicely to get ahead in the count 0-2. One runner in scoring position, being Tyshawn Diaz at third, Bedrzyk at first. Runners on the corners. Here's the 0-2 from Ambrosino. That one is fouled back. And in front of the Dorms. Count remains 0-2. The 0-2. Swung on and missed. Down on strikes goes Peyton Farina. And in and out of trouble, Tom Ambrosino gets out of that inning nice and easy. Well, following the top of the second inning, after 1.5 innings of work, no runs, 1 hit, no errors, and 2 runners left on base. Let's go to the bottom of the second, folks, shall we? Tyler Becker, Jose Matos, Jack Ryan. 4, 5, 6 hitters due up when we return right here on Any10Now.tv. Okay, I got to start reading this. Located just minutes from Adelphi University's Garden City campus, Luigi's Pizzeria of Mineola is an official sponsor of Adelphi Athletics. Enjoy pasta favorites, healthy eats, or a large pie with your family by calling or ordering directly online. Adelphi community members can enjoy 15% off their bill just by showing their Adelphi ID. Luigi's Pizzeria, quality you can taste. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we are back here on Any10Now.tv. Here from William J. Bonomo Memorial Field, I'm Joey Jarzinka. Cannot thank you enough for joining us here on this sunny afternoon. Little bit of breeze. Nice 65-degree day here from Garden City. And it's going to bring up Becker, Matos, and Ryan as Southern Connecticut State is ahead right now 1-0. Count right now being 1-2-1 in favor of Southern Connecticut. Adelphi 0-0-1 looking for their first hit. Here is Becker in the box. Ebert on the mound. That first pitch is going to be fouled back and just in front of Eddie Hall. And Tyler Becker, who has had some issues defensively. He's made his 3rd error in as many games. Count being 0-1. Off-speed pitch cannot come back in. Count being 1-1. Tyler Becker, when he was a sophomore in 2018, he went on a 23-game hitting streak. That's pretty good stuff. Regardless of what division you're in, what level you're in, that's very difficult to do. Count being 1-2 right now. Manorville, New York native. Now with a 182 batting average. With an RBI, 4 total hits. Count being 2-2 on Becker. Pitch just lands outside and did not nick the plate. Counts full 3-2. You can hear the sights and sounds from the Adelphi dugout. Here's the payoff. That one is sent into right center field. Going back is Ainge, and that one is out of here. Tyler Becker with a leadoff home run into center field, and he ties this contest at 1. Tyler Becker with a booming shot. Andrew Ainge could not go any farther back just beyond the 390 sign. He was on the warning track, and he saw that one fly. Tyler Becker, I guess we can say he redeemed himself, especially for the one error that he did make, which did lead to the first run, and that one was big. And Ebert looks to be a little startled following that home run as he plunks the designated hitter Jose Matos. We didn't even have a chance to even discuss who he was. So right now, the run count that is, we are tied 1-1. Adelphi University ties this one up, thanks in large part and in only part to the shortstop Tyler Becker. Here is Jack Ryan. Runner at first being Jose Matos. The energy is ecstatic right now. Bedlam in that dugout. They have to hold. Ebert not too happy as that fastball looked to have just crossed the plate, but Nick Thull maybe just nicked the outer part of the edge, but we will not know. Count being 2-0. Runner thinks about going Matos. He then goes back and tries to get into the head of Mike DiMartino. Count is 3-0. Ebert, let's see if he can get out of trouble. Jack Ryan takes, and he works a 4-pitch walk. That's going to bring up the first baseman, Brandon Warwick. Coming in with a 182 batting average. His on-base percentage, .471. He leads the NE10 in hit by pitches individually with 3. Runners on first and second. Runner is in scoring position being Matos. Let's not forget, folks, 0 outs thus far. Brandon Warwick just gets a piece of that one. So this team right now being Adelphi University, following the home run into center field from Becker, now gives Adelphi a lone second place, or they sit in the home run category all alone in second place within the NE10. And they're looking to chase St. Anselm, who they've hit 13 thus far as a team. Count being 0-2. Matos at second. Ryan at first. The aforementioned Ryan did work a 4-pitch walk just last batter up. Here's the 0-2. And it looks to be Brandon Warwick gets called out on strikes looking, and that is going to be the first out. And that's going to bring up the center fielder, Cooper Johnson. Cooper Johnson right now, his batting average 333, ranks 15th in the NE10. This is the first contest in conference play this campaign. And surprisingly, this is a weird stat, but this is the truth really all around, is that for all NE10 competitors and student athletes, this is the first conference matchup for either team in 2 years due to COVID-19. Ebert clearly rattled on the mound, count being 1-0. He did get a boost of confidence off the arms of Nick Thull due to that looking strikeout. But right now, Ebert behind in the count, 2-0 against the center fielder Cooper Johnson. That ball is outside, and Ebert loses control of that one. DiMartino there to grab that one, count being 3-0. Here's the 3-0. Works a 4-pitch walk. And this is something, folks, that we did see last week. If you were with us last week against St. Thomas Aquinas, it was the complete opposite last week, where Adelphi were the ones, that were giving up the walks. And we did see last week in Game 1 where Josh Rovner, as well as Nicholas Luke, they were unable to get out of their respective innings because they were giving up too many walks. But that's going to bring up Nick Gavilla with a big opportunity for him with 1 out to give Adelphi a second inning lead. Matos at third, Ryan at second, Cooper Johnson at first. That ball is sent sky high to shallow left field, and that ball's going to drop in for a base hit. Coming in to score is Jose Matos, and Adelphi takes a 2-1 lead. A little bit of miscommunication in shallow left field between Zambito, Diaz, and Ferret. Looks as if that Zambito was calling off Ferret, and it looks as if that maybe, just maybe, Zambito lost it in the sun, which we did see last week did happen. Adelphi right now with a 2-1 lead, and the bases remain loaded with 1 out, and that's going to bring up Matt Alifano. Ball is in the dirt and saved there by DiMartino, count being 1-0. Alifano, in his first time up, he flew out to left field. Zambito was the one to grab that one. Bases are loaded. Pitch is upstairs. 2-0, 1 out. We might see some action in the bullpen. Head coach Tim Shea, Southern Connecticut alum, 1987 graduate, taking a peek at his pen. Ball is in the dirt, and it looks as if that Ebert having some trouble with his placement and having trouble with the location, count being 3-0. Remember, no place to put Alifano if he does work a walk. Here's the 3-0. Called strike. Alifano. Oh for 4 last weekend in Game 1 against St. Thomas. And they are calling that pitch a strike. And head coach Dom Scala giving his sophomore third baseman a vote of confidence from the steps of the dugout. Here's the payoff. Outside, Alifano works a walk and comes trotting into home is Jack Ryan. And Adelphi now leads 3-1. Looks as if that we are going to see assistant coach Ed Bethke come out to chat with his pitcher, Brandon Ebert. We're going to take a 30-second timeout here. We'll be right back on the opposite side of this break. Back here from William J. Bonomo Memorial Field, that's going to bring up Anthony Cipri, the second baseman. Last time around, he reached on an error to the second baseman. That ball is hit foul and hits the tree before getting onto the roof of Eddie Hall, just to our left. So again, bases remain loaded. Ebert is on the mound. He was given a little chat to. That ball is just in front of us. DiMartino is unable to grab that one. And another run comes in to score, being Cooper Johnson, and Adelphi now takes a 4-1 lead. So that one will be scored. A wild pitch, as that ball landed just in front of us. DiMartino could not come up with the location of it. The count being 1-1 right now. 4 runs here in the bottom of the second inning for Adelphi. Runners on second and third, both in scoring position. Anthony Cipri came out of the box for a quick second. Don't know if he liked that call. Maybe that was a tiny bit outside, but regardless, count being 1-2. We still have one out. Gavilla at second, Alifano. And that one is going to be hit directly to Bedrzyk. And a run will score. And that run will be Nick Gavilla to make it a 5-1 ball game. Adelphi ahead right now, 5-1 with one away. Alifano at third. And Anthony Cipri with the 4-3 sacrifice RBI for the second out. That's going to bring up Tim Feliz. That ball's just outside. Brendan Ebert right now, his pitch count is at 38 on the afternoon, count being 1-0 with 2 outs. Adelphi right now with a 5-1 advantage due to the 5 walks given up by Ebert in the second inning. No place to put a lot of these guys, so if you do walk, eventually one is going to come in. But to lead off this inning, though, we do want to say we always save the best for last in our broadcasts here. Shortstop Tyler Becker did lead off the inning with a booming home run into center field, as Andrew Ainge, the SCSU center fielder, did look back. That one is foul tipped into the glove of Mike DiMartino, count being 2-1. On deck, Tyler Becker. He would be They would be batting around the order if he does reach base. That ball is hit into center field. That's going to drop in for a base hit. Coming in to score is Alfano. And the Adelphi University Panthers take a 6-1 advantage. And it looks as if that head coach Tim Shea will be making his way out to the mound. And Brendan Ebert's day is complete. Well, Ebert gave up 6 runs on 3 hits in 1 2/3 innings pitched. And that's going to bring in right-handed pitcher Spencer Fox. We'll give you some storylines about the sophomore from Manchester, Connecticut when we return right here on any10now.tv. Well, head coach Tim Shea makes a call to the bullpen, and he summons right-handed pitcher Spencer Fox, who made his NCAA debut last season against Dominican College upstate in New York. 1 2/3 innings pitched, 3 hits, 4 earned, 4 total runs allowed, 2 walks, 3 strikeouts, and did give up 2 home runs. He is very familiar with Long Island, though, as he was originally slated to pitch for the West Hampton Aviators in the Hamptons Collegiate Baseball League. We'll give you some statistics on that as well. But we do bring up Tyler Becker to the plate as a runner on first only, being Tim Feliz following the single into center field. And we'll give you the stat line for Brendan Ebert shortly, but the count being 1-0 in favor of Tim Becker. That one is fouled sky high and behind us. Brendan Ebert's statistics in 1 2/3 innings pitched, he allowed 6 earned, 6 total runs. His ERA in this contest alone, 32.40, allowed 3 hits, 4 walks, a strikeout, a home run, and a hit by pitch. He did throw a wild pitch to allow that 6th run to come in, and he also had 1 strikeout in the two strikeouts. No, 1 strikeout. That's my mistake in the contest in 41 total pitches. So we did ask head coach Tim Shea about the possibility of maybe some jitters coming in here, where it is a possibility that his team might not be ready, as well as 5 key players on the COVID-19 protocol list. So, and he did say that he obviously, with the HIPAA rules, he was unable to say who those guys were. But he did say you will not be seeing certain key guys as well as bench guys. That ball is hit into right field. That one is deep, and that ball is gone! Tyler Becker hits his 2nd home run of the inning. And that one is a 2-run shot into right field. Peyton Farina had no clue where that one was. And Tyler Becker extends the lead on 1 hit, 8-1 in favor of Adelphi. The bats have come alive here this afternoon from William J. Bonomo Memorial Field. 8-1 in favor of Adelphi. And Jose Matos, the designated hitter, due up his first time up. He was hit by a pitch. And a run scored in his second plate appearance. Count being 2-0 right now with 2 away. Count being 3-0. Spencer Fox throws a fastball right down the middle. Count being 3-1. Peyton Farina in right field saw that one go past him and sail past him from Tyler Becker just a batter ago as Jose Matos works a walk. And still with 2 away, that's going to bring up the catcher, Jack Ryan. And as we did say, this is the second. Not only is the second plate appearance for the aforementioned Ryan, but also this is the second time up in this inning for Ryan. He worked a walk, a 4-pitch walk rather, in the second inning, or earlier in the second inning, we should say. And he also scored a run, which was the 5th run of the ball game. 8-1, runner on first. Matos is that runner. That ball is hit into center field. Coming on to grab that one is Andrew Ainge to get out of this contest with 8 runs. My goodness. Well, folks, 8 runs on 4 hits, 1 error, and 1 runner is left on base. Adelphi University, their bats have come alive. 8-1 in favor of the home team. We'll be right back on the opposite side of this break, live from William J. Bonomo Field on any10now.tv. Adelphi Deli is a sponsor of Adelphi Athletics, conveniently located on Nassau Boulevard, just minutes from campus. Adelphi Deli prides itself on customer satisfaction and a family atmosphere, all while serving the freshest cold cuts in town. Be sure to stop in and check out their daily specials or to enjoy some of your favorite menu items. Adelphi Deli, Garden City's neighborhood delicatessen. So, ladies and gentlemen, it is an 8-1 ball game in favor of your Adelphi University Panthers right here from William J. Bonomo Memorial Field. It is a slugfest, or was a slugfest in the bottom of the second inning, led off by Tyler Becker in the bottom of the second inning. And then he comes up again as the Adelphi University Panthers bat around in the order, and then he hits a second home run, this time into right field. But now that is in the past, and we move on as Andrew Ainge leads things off for Southern Connecticut State. Ainge, DiMartino, Ferret, the 3-4-5 hitters for Southern Connecticut, and it feels probably for Tom Ambrosino that it's been hours since he's been on the mound. But all in good faith as his team gave his pitcher, or their pitcher rather, a 7-run cushion. Count 0-2. Center fielder Andrew Ainge. Here's the 0-2. Swung on and missed. Down on strikes goes Ainge to lead off the top of the third inning. That is the fourth strikeout for Tom Ambrosino. That's going to bring up the catcher, Mike DiMartino, who reached first base on an E4 to Anthony Cipri. Mike DiMartino considered, quote, like a volunteer assistant coach at times to head coach Tim Shea, where he is in his sixth season, or sixth year senior, if you will, as DiMartino gets plunked and Ambrosino loses control of that pitch. And DiMartino has to limp that one off. Ambrosino and home plate umpire Nick Thull double-checking to make sure that the New Haven, Connecticut graduate student is okay. He does limp there. It looks as if that probably he got it on the shin pad or a shin protector. Looks like he's going to walk it off. Tom Ambrosino just checking, make sure that he's good. And it looks as if that they are good. He is good. And that's going to bring up Mike Ferret, the third baseman, who struck out swinging in the first inning. And Ferret asking home plate umpire Nick Thull, that's a pretty good question, actually. If he did not swing, would that have been called a strike? Nick Thull says yes. That one is hit into center field, and that one is hit good. Cooper Johnson on the run, and that ball is going to go onto the warning track and hit the wall. Cooper Johnson throws that one to Tyler Becker. And at second base, it looks to me and to us that the catcher and the base runner in Mike DiMartino is down. No, there's a possibility that that ankle did not hold up. And that is exactly where he is pointing to. And it looks as if that he can't even put any pressure on that ankle right now. So we are going to see a pinch runner come in, and that is going to be catcher Josh Wetman. And it's going to be 8 coming in. DiMartino, that is definitely not one that you want to lose. You don't want to lose any of them, but if you had a choice, DiMartino would be the last one. And something also that head coach Tim Shea did say, no excuses, next man up. And just getting things squared away. Is home plate umpire Nick Thull. So now Wetman will take over the base running duties at second base. At first is Mike Ferret, and we do want to just mention to those that are just joining us, Mike DiMartino was hit by a pitch just a couple of batters ago. And unfortunately, he was hobbling to first, and it looks as if that he was running, or as he was running the base path, or heading to second, he did drop to the floor, because that angle looked like something was way off with that. Josh Wetman now the pinch runner at second. Drury is in the box. Count being 1-1 with 1 out. Adelphi still with an 8-1 lead. Something that we did say also and we did not say from head coach Dom Scala. His key to the game, it starts on the mound. And that was it. That is his key to the game, even though we did say it in the top of the third inning. We'll get you the couple of keys to the game from head coach Tim Shea in the bottom half of the third. Never too late to bring those up because they do come in handy and relevant at the right time. That ball is in the dirt. Jack Ryan handles that one. You know, we bring up a few times about the Summer League and how they really didn't get to play last year and how the Summer League guys have been able to come back and play. We'll get you a couple of those stories as well just a little bit later, as that ball is wide right, and it looks as if that Tom Ambrosino, he calls Dom Scala immediately out, and it looks as if that he is pointing directly to his elbow. That is never, ever a good thing. He lost control of that pitch. And for all the baseball players that are watching out there, the baseball viewers that are watching out there, the moment a pitcher points to his elbow, it's never a good thing. The bullpen is warm. Ambro will be checking out of the contest, and Tom Ambrosino's day is done with an 8-1 advantage. We do hope that everything is okay. With the leading closer in program history. Well, we do know this name, folks. Senior right-handed pitcher Josh Rovner comes in to pitch. He was slated actually to pitch tomorrow. But tomorrow's games are postponed, so we will get you some numbers on the Medford senior. We'll be right back on the opposite side of this break as head coach Dom Scala makes a call to the bullpen due to injury. Well, head coach Dom Scala makes a call to the bullpen, and unfortunately it's not a great one due to Tom Ambrosino pointing at his elbow and calling his head coach out to the mound for a replacement. And head coach Dom Scala summons right-handed pitcher Josh Rovner, who in the contest actually against Pace. We'll give you a couple of stats from the last game. That one is hit into right center field. That's going to head into the gap and split the outfielders. 1 run scores. 2 runs will now score. Will 3 runs score for Southern Connecticut State? And it does. A bases clearing double for Isaiah Walker. And the lead for Adelphi is now down 8-4. Josh Rovner comes in and allows those 3 runs, all of which are unearned in favor of him, but it will go under Tom Ambrosino's earned run average, as those were his responsibility. Counts 0-1. Southern Connecticut State with 3 runs on that 1 hit from Isaiah Walker. That is not only his first hit, but also it was an RBI double with 3 RBIs scored. So what a way to start off your career in the box. Count 1-1. Runner still in scoring position. Southern Connecticut has narrowed Adelphi's lead to 4. Second strike called there by home plate umpire Nick Thull, count being 1-2. Ball is sent sky high. Jack Ryan, see if he can get it, and that ball is going to be out of play. Eight to 4, Adelphi leads. Walker at second. That ball is sky high. Ryan and Alifano. Alifano calls off Ryan, and he grabs that one to secure a big out for Adelphi. Two outs with Zach Bedrzyk due up. Bedrzyk, his second plate appearance of the afternoon. In his first, he did work a walk. That ball's choppered to Cipri. He turns to first. Warwick with the catch. And the inning is complete. So mark that down, ladies and gentlemen, in your scorecards as a 4-3. But with 3 runs scored on 2 hits, no errors, and 1 runner left on base being Isaiah Walker, we head to the bottom of the 3rd inning. After 2.5 innings of play, it is 8-4 in favor of Adelphi University. You're watching this exclusive presentation of Adelphi University Panthers baseball right here on any10now.tv. Bottom of the third inning here from William J. Bonomo Memorial Field, Adelphi with an 8-4 lead. And if you are just joining us here, Tom Ambrosino, the starter, did request to be removed by head coach Dom Scala, pointing at his elbow. Josh Rovner did come in to relieve him. And one pitch, one out. Brandon Warwick, the 7-8-9 hitters, due up, and that's going to bring up the center fielder, Cooper Johnson. But 8-4 is the score in favor of Adelphi. 3 runs did come in to score on an RBI, on a bases-clearing RBI double by Isaiah Walker in the top half of the third inning. First pitch from Spencer Fox is high. And this is something else, too. This is the first time all season long at home that they're wearing their gray uniforms. They're usually wearing pinstripes. That ball is sent into left center field. Coming on to grab that one is Ainge. Calls off his left fielder, Zambito, for out number 2. Two batters, 2 quick outs for Adelphi, as it looks as if that Spencer Fox is finding his groove. And that now is going to bring up the left fielder, Nick Gavilla. Last time around, in his first plate appearance, he had a walk and a run scored. That ball is sent into left field, but foul. Signaling bunt was Gavilla. Spencer Fox with the off-speed pitch, but that one was off of the glove of Wetman. We have to make that change, folks, as we do want to say that DiMartino is clearly out of the game. Wetman is in. And we do figure that he will take over that spot in the lineup. So Josh Wetman comes in for the injury, which is Mike DiMartino. He was plunked. And that ball is going to not get through the second baseman in Zach Bedryzik. He does get there in time, and that should fall in there for a base hit. So just as we were writing this down, we did miss the play, but Zach Bedryzik did dive, and a good stop as he was on the dirt just around second base to grab that one. A little deep. But with a runner on first and 2 outs, it's going to bring up the leadoff man in Matt Alifano. He is 0 for 1 with 2 plate appearances. Fly out into left and a walk and a run scored. Gavilla at first. Alifano at the dish. Fox checking the runner at first, being Gavilla. So that one should count as a ball, unless he called time. And it looks as if that he did, count being 1-1. Well, Spencer Fox checks the runner at first. Gavilla gets back in time. And that's exactly what it was. It looks as if that maybe Alifano did call time, or someone in the dish called time, whether it be Wetman, Alifano, or Thull, the home plate umpire. So the count remains 1-1. That ball is chopped directly to short. Steps on second for the force. That is Tyshawn Diaz. He steps on there, so it is going to be a ground ball directly to the shortstop. A ground ball 6. Gavilla gets stopped there, and that is going to do it for the bottom of the third inning. After 3 full innings of play, no runs, 1 hit, no errors, and 1 runner is left on base. Let's head to the 4th inning, folks. And top of the order due up, Zambito, Farina, Ainge due up when we return on any10now.tv. Adelphi University ahead, 8-4. One, two, three hitters due up for Southern Connecticut State University. Zambito, Farina, Ainge, 8-4 in favor of Adelphi University. Live here from William J. Bonomo Memorial Field on any10now.tv. I'm Joey Jarzinka. Cannot thank you all enough for spending your Saturday afternoon with us in the first of 2 games here, with Game 1 being a 9-inning contest and the second one being a 7-inning contest. Tomorrow afternoon's contests have been postponed and moved to April 8th and April 14th, both slated to open first pitch be at 3:30 p.m. For more information, you can log on to Adelphi or aupanthers.com for more details. Zambito right now behind in the count 2-1. Rovner on the mound. That ball is sent high, hit well, but foul. And just over the Adelphi College World Series sign. So that ball just goes foul. Rovner is a little lucky. Count 2-2. And for those joining us, Rovner was slated to start tomorrow in Game 1. But due to the postponement, it works out okay for him to come in here in a long relief role. Due to the injury of Tom Ambrosino, with him pointing to his elbow earlier. That ball is hit just to the right of Tyler Becker. That will head into left field for a base hit. And that's how Tony Zambito leads off the top of the 4th. It's going to bring in the right fielder, Peyton Farina. He ended the second inning with a swinging strikeout, and he also was the second batter he is the second batter in the order, so he did get the first out of the game itself with a swinging strikeout as well. So he is 0 for 2 with 2 swinging strikeouts. That ball is high. Runner goes. And it looks as if that Zambito is in there safely. with the stolen base. Jack Ryan not in time. And the tag not in time. Head coach Tom Scala at the mound speaking with Jack Ryan and Josh Rovner. Home plate umpire Nick Thull does take a trot out there to and home plate umpire Nick Thull giving us the signal. Counts 1-1. Runner on second, it being Zambito. Rovner high and inside. Fastball, count 2-1. Peyton Farina swings and looks like he gets a tip on that. Counts 2-2. Here's the 2-2. That ball, he had to extend on that one. And Warwick with the underhand pass to Rovner for the 3-1 putout. Runner will advance to third, being Zambito, with one away. For Southern Connecticut State, that brings up the center fielder Andrew Ainge, as we are in the top of the fourth inning here from Garden City. A couple of clouds forming in the sky. 8-4 in favor of Adelphi, following a two-home run second inning from Tyler Becker. Jack Ryan checks the runner at third, being Zambito. Alifano with the tag, and Zambito is back in time. Two and 0. Rovner on the mound. Ainge takes ball 3. Pitches inside by the numbers. Ainge takes strike 1. Ball foul just above our head. Josh Wetman is on deck. Mike DiMartino was plunked last inning by Tom Ambrosino. And as he was trotting the base path to second base, he fell. Looked as if that he was hurt clearly, and Andrew Ainge on a called strike 3, looking for his second personal strikeout of the afternoon, and the first one of the afternoon for Rovner. With 2 away, that brings up the freshman catcher in Josh Wetman, Guilford, Connecticut native. 6 foot, 180 pounds. When he came in here to Southern Connecticut State, out of the state of Connecticut, he was the 30th overall ranked player in the entire state. We'll give you a couple stories about Wetman as well when the time becomes relevant. But with the count being 2-1, Zambito still at third. He's the only runner on base. That ball is hit into right field. Coming on to grab that one is Tim Felives, and he grabs that one. And Josh Rovner quiets down the Southern Connecticut State dugout, who had a little bit of early yays and early oohs. So Josh Wetman lines out to the right fielder, Tim Feliz, and that is going to do it in the top of the fourth inning. Well, after 3.5 innings of work in the top of the fourth for Southern Connecticut State, no runs, 1 hit, no errors, and 1 runner is left on base. Let's go to the bottom of the fourth inning here. 2, 3, 4 hitters, Cipri, Feliz, Becker due up when we return on any10now.tv. Eight 8-4 still in favor of Adelphi University here from William J. Bonomo Memorial Field. Cipri, Feliz, Becker due up. And the second baseman, Anthony Cipri, will lead off this bottom of the fourth inning. And Spencer Fox back on the mound. Fastball outside. Count being 1-0. Last time up for Cipri, he did hit into a sacrifice ground out that scored Matt Alifano. In that second inning. Count being 3-0 right now. Anthony Cipri. Four-pitch walk to lead off the bottom of the fourth inning for the Middle Village native, sophomore. It's going to bring up the right fielder, Tim Feliz, who made that catch to conclude the top of the fourth inning on Josh Wetman. Spencer Fox checks the runner at first. Sky high for Feliz. Zambito with the catch. For the F7. Well, the hitter due up, the shortstop Tyler Becker, who, for those that are, again, just joining us, and as the pitchers and the players to my right just said, quote, have a day, that is exactly what this man is having right now, where Tyler Becker, in the second inning alone, hit 2 home runs, 1 into center field to lead off the bottom of the second. And then he also hit a second home run into right field. And that one was a 2-run shot. Tyler Becker, we did bring up earlier about how there were times where head coach Dom Scala was speaking about his couple of the errors, not specifically for him, but he does fly that one out into center field. Ainge on that catch for out number 2. But not specifically for Becker, but just the defense in general. And reason why we brought up Becker is because he did have an error earlier in the inning, or actually, excuse me, earlier in the contest. And then he also had 2 errors in 2 games last weekend against St. Thomas Aquinas that really brought down his confidence level, where he was hitting himself numerous times. So that's going to bring up the designated hitter, Jose Matos. And it looks as if, though, that the runner in Anthony Cipri gets caught at second base. A great shot there from Josh Wetman. And the runner went in Cipri. He did get caught. And that will do it in the bottom of the 4th inning. To the top of the 5th we go, where it's no runs, no hits, no errors, and no one left on base. Let's go to the top of the 5th. Ferret, Drury, and Walker due up for Southern Connecticut State when we return on any10now.tv. Avo Taco is a fresh new spot to enjoy a variety of freshly prepared, house-made signature items. You can taste their one-of-a-kind ingredients with their green chili queso, carnitas topped with guacamole, and vast taco menu, to their famous specialty cocktails including On the Rocks or Frozen Rum Punch, prickly pear margaritas, sangria, or passion fruit pina coladas, all handcrafted with only the best and most fresh ingredients. Enjoy 10% off with your Adelphi ID on all dine-in purchases. Avo Taco, tropical cocktails, artisanal tacos, and guacamole beyond compare. 5, 6, 7 hitters due up for Southern Connecticut State as Mike Ferret grounds one to Tyler Becker. And he throws a little high there, but Brandon Warwick is able to grab that one nice and easy. And we can hear on the other side of the diamond Tyler Becker saying, "That was not me." But the 6-3 for the first out will now bring up Jack Drury. Jack Drury grounded to first base unassisted to end the first inning, and he also had a second plate appearance where he walked and had a run scored. Off-speed pitch called for a strike. My goodness, what a good curve on that one. Ball is in the dirt. Just past the legs or the feet of Jack Drury. The count being 2-1. What we did bring up earlier about the aforementioned Drury, how in the first inning he did ground out to Brandon Warwick, but we were wondering at first why the initial play, this one is skied high and will be in front of Eddie Hall, but we were wondering what the deal was, why the initial out that was caught by Matt Alifano was deemed ineligible. Well, because he stepped on the cement just in front of the third base dugout. So that's considered out of play. As Drury sends one into right field, that will drop in front of the right fielder, Tim Feliz, he's not happy about that. He thought maybe he might be able to dive on that one. But instead, he plays it safe, and a runner will be on first base. That's going to bring up the designated hitter, Isaiah Walker. And Isaiah Walker this afternoon with an RBI double, 3 RBI double rather, a bases clearing RBI double into center field. He's 1 for 2 also with a fly ball to right field. Here's the 0-1. That one plunks Isaiah Walker. Drury heads to second, Walker to first. That brings up the shortstop, Tyshawn Diaz. Tyshawn Diaz also, he is making his NCAA debut at the plate. First pitch, it's a foul ball, count 0-1. Tyshawn Diaz is listed as a right-handed pitcher, 5'11", 175 pounds. And last year he made his collegiate debut on the mound against Dominican. He was credited with the save, 2/3 of an innings pitched, 2 hits, 2 earned runs, and 2 walks. Count 0-1. Ball's outside, runner in Walker. Heads back to first. Jack Ryan does check him at first. Runners at first and second. Walker at first, Drury at second. In the dish, Tyshawn Diaz. That ball's hit directly to Alifano. He goes to second. On to first. That's a double play. That's a 5-4-3 double play to conclude the inning. Well, pretty good stuff there defensively for Adelphi University. As we head to the bottom of the 5th inning, after 4.5 innings of play, no runs, 1 hit. No errors, and 2 runners left on base. We head to the bottom of the 5th inning. Matos, Ryan, Warwick due up when we return on any10now.tv. 8-4 in favor of your Adelphi Panthers. Core Life Eatery provides new, clean, healthy, and great-tasting food to everyone every day. They feature hearty bowls that are complete meals in themselves, featuring greens, grains, and bone broths. Adelphi members can enjoy 10% off each visit with a valid ID on all dine-in purchases. Core Life Eatery. Passionate people providing powerful food. Well, that's going to bring up the 5, 6, 7 hitters, Matos, Ryan, Warwick. Matos hit by a pitch and also worked a walk. Spencer Fox. It's working nice and early. Count 1-0. Spencer Fox in the windup rather quick. Fastball outside. Jack Ryan on deck. Warwick in the hole. That ball is sent into left field. Zambito on it, just in front of the warning track, and he misses that one. It looks as if that maybe that one got lost in the sun. And coming around into second base, standing up, is Matos, as he leads off the bottom of the fifth inning with a stand-up double. And our official scorer, Ian Schreier, did not give that an error. Might have lost that one. In the sun. So that's going to bring up the catcher, Jack Ryan. 0 for 1, 2 plate appearances, a walk, a run scored, and a fly out into center field. Ainge was on that one at the time in the bottom of the second. That one was actually to conclude the 8-run bottom of the second. So it looks as if that it will be a single for Matos, but then he reached on a fielding error. So let's see exactly what we are going to call that. So it looks as if that one will be an error. They're going to call that an E7 first. That one was labeled a hit on the scoreboard. But Matos is at second base. Jack Ryan right now ahead in the count 2-1. Runner in scoring position being Matos. 8-4 is the advantage for Adelphi. Ball in the dirt. Stopped there by Wetman. Count 3-1. Here's the 3-1. Takes ball 4 high and outside. And Jack Ryan trots to first base with Warwick now in the dish. Oh for 2 on the afternoon. Pop up to the shortstop Diaz. And a looking strikeout in the second inning. Fastball high and inside. Lost the location of that ball. Counts 1-0. Biggest thing here for head coach Tim Shea when we spoke to him, the 3 keys, the biggest thing was that you got to pound the strike zone, throw strikes. That is his biggest thing right now. Unfortunately, could not work out with Ebert as he struggled with his command, with his location, his placement, all of the above. Score runs offensively. He does have 4 runs on the board here this afternoon thus far through 4.5. Warwick takes that one inside. Count 3-0. And also the third key from head coach Tim Shea, nothing spectacular defensively. Do not make stupid mistakes. My words, not his. Count 3-0. Ball 4 in the dirt. Spencer Fox has a 4-pitch walk. Josh Wetman says vividly, quote, "Do not worry." Warwick works a 4-pitch walk. Bases are now loaded, and it looks as if that we are going to see a pitching change as head coach Tim Shea makes a call to the bullpen, and Spencer Fox's day is complete. And it looks as if that head coach Tim Shea will be summoning right-handed pitcher and freshman Derek Jagiello to the mound. The Naugatuck, Connecticut native. We'll give you some more information on him when we return right here on any10now.tv. 8-4 Adelphi Panthers ahead of Southern Connecticut, and the bases are loaded. Now, as we did say just prior to our quick break, head coach Tim Shea makes a call to the bullpen, and this time he does summon freshman right-handed pitcher Derek Jagiello. He comes in here making his NCAA debut here this afternoon. 6'1", 200-pound righty out of Naugatuck High School in Connecticut. And on National Letter of Intent Day, he said, quote, head coach Tim Shea said, quote, "This young man is extremely talented. He is the #1 pitcher for his high school team as well as their shortstop." So he does have multiple positions available if needed for the Naugatuck native. Here's Cooper Johnson. Cooper Johnson right now as the hard-throwing righty behind an count 1-0 with the bases loaded. This is not the first time that Adelphi has their bases loaded. This is the second time, actually, and this is the third total time that we have seen the bases loaded for either team. That ball is sent high into center field. Ball caught there by Ainge. Matos tags at third. He comes in to score. And that one is going to be deemed a sacrifice fly into center field for the first out of the contest. And with Adelphi scoring, the lead now extends 9-4. Now runner on first and second. Warwick at first, Ryan at second, Nick Gavilla due up with one runner in scoring position. Right-handed pitcher making, as we did say, his collegiate debut. Just to continue what he did say here, he has power potential at the plate and can also hit for average. I can envision him competing for playing time at multiple infield positions as well as seeing time on the mound. Well, first appearance, he is on the mound, so maybe next time we do see, maybe even in the next game, or we could see him on April 8th or the 14th, playing a different position as opposed to pitching. Count being 2-0 on Nick Gavilla with 1 out. Runners on first and second, 1 runner in scoring position, being Ryan. Derek Jagello behind in the count, 3-0. Alifano on deck. Cipri in the circle, in the hole, excuse me. Ball's outside, and a 4-pitch walk for Nick Gavilla. Ryan to third, Warwick to second, Gavilla at first. Matt Alifano, ladies and gentlemen, the team's best hitter in terms of average up at the plate with 1 out. He's 0 for 2 with 3 plate appearances, a walk, a run scored, ground ball. With a line out directly to shortstop and a fly ball to left field, count being 1-0. Bases are loaded. Counts 1-0. That ball is hit into center field. Ainge going back. That ball is gone! Matt Alifano with a grand slam. And extends the lead for Adelphi, 12-4. Matt Alifano has opened things wide up here for Adelphi. And in one swing of the bat, Adelphi has broken this game open, and it's actually rather 13-4. That is my mistake. I missed 1 run, 13-4. And in the last game that they scored this season, more than 10 runs was the 11th of March against Felician when they scored 15 runs and allowed 0. And that ball was hit very hard there from Matt Alifano. And it's unfortunate for the pitcher. And the reason why we bring that up here, and we empathize a little bit, and the reason being is because he's put into a tough position in his collegiate debut. But you also have to realize, though, is that this is the NCAA. This is college baseball. This is the time to shine. And it is an adjustment, as head coach Tim Shea did say over the phone. There's an adjustment that has to be made with 5 key players out, as he did bring up. 5 key and reserve players, so we'll never know who is not playing because they didn't travel with the team due to COVID-19 protocols. The payoff pitch, that ball is lined directly to Mike Ferret. And that one was Anthony Cipri, mind you. So we'll mark that one as an L5. To the third baseman, Mike Ferret. That's going to bring up the right fielder, Tim Feliz. He is 1 for 3. That ball is skied way high, possibly good for the second baseman, Bedrzyk, and he grabs that ball nice and easy for the pop fly. So, ladies and gentlemen, we do see 5 runs on 1 hit, 1 error, and no runners are left on base. Yes, 5 runs, 1 hit, 1 error, and no one left on base. You heard that correct, ladies and gentlemen. Off of a grand slam from sophomore third baseman Matt Alfano. A deep fly ball into center field extends this lead 13-4 in favor of Adelphi University. 13-4, we head to the top of the 6th inning here from William J. Bonomo Memorial Field. We'll be right back on the opposite side of this break. You are watching this exclusive presentation of Any10Now.tv. Moe's Southwest Grill is a local hotspot located on Stewart Avenue in Garden City. With more than 20 fresh ingredients like all-natural adobo chicken, grass-fed steak, organic tofu, and handcrafted guac, they give you the freedom to create exactly what you're craving. Enjoy 10% off your bill by showing your Adelphi ID. Welcome to Moe's, where originality is celebrated. Ladies and gentlemen, it is the top of the 6th inning as Zach Bedrzyk is up. 9-1-2 hitters, first pitch and 1 out. That one is a 5-3 directly to Matt Alfano. The reason why we are at 13-4 where we are currently, and as we did say, the 9-1-2 hitters, Bedrzyk, Zambito, Farina, due up. Bedrzyk hit into that 5-3 to Alfano. And Zambito now due up, who made a fielding error against Jose Matos to open up the bottom of the 5th inning, as we are now in the top of the 6th here from Bonomo Memorial Field. And the count being 1-0. Rovner still on the mound right now, coming in relief for Tom Ambrosino. That ball is sent to shallow right field. And just outside the makeshift dirt in the AstroTurf, Anthony Cipri grabs that one for the P4. So nice and easy currently right now for the Adelphi Panthers. And pitcher Josh Rovner with 2 outs. That's going to bring up Peyton Farina, who is 0 for 3, 2 strikeouts, and a ground ball to Brandon Warwick. Counts 1-1, fastball high. Two balls, 1 strike, and 2 outs. No one on the base path. Fastball called a ball. Fastball high from Rovner. Farina works a walk. Get the first base runner aboard in this contest. Center fielder Andrew Ainge is now due up for Southern Connecticut State, and it's wild that he is 0 for 2, 3 plate appearances, hit by pitch, 2 strikeouts, 1 looking and 1 swinging. That ball is sent sky high. Tyler Becker is there for the catch, and that will do it. Nice and easy for Adelphi defensively. No hits, no runs, no hits, no errors, and 1 runner left on base, being Peyton Farina. We head to the bottom of the 6th inning with the aforementioned Becker, Matos, Ryan due up. 4, 5, 6 hitters due up when we return On any10now.tv, your Adelphi Panthers have broken this one open, thanks in large part to Matt Alifano just an inning and a half ago. 13-4 is your score. We'll be right back on the opposite side of this break from William J. Bonomo Memorial Field. (13-4), Adelphi University ahead of Southern Connecticut State University by a 9-run deficit. And for those that are just joining us, the reason why it is that big of a differential in runs scored, we can thank third baseman Matt Alifano, who hit a booming grand slam into center field. But that is now in the past, as we have Tyler Becker, who is up in the dish, who is 2 for 3 with a pair of home runs himself, one into center field and one into right field as well. This team has hit 3 home runs this afternoon, and that is the biggest reason why we are where we are in this contest in the bottom of the 6th inning. Here's the 0-1 from Jagello. Tyler Becker also in his last time up in the 4th inning flew out to center field. Ball looked like may have nicked the plate. And I think Tyler Becker is just letting that one slide, even though directly in front of us is the plate. And it might have nicked the white paint. Ball is outside, almost the same location. But we digress. Count 2-2. Swung on and missed. Down on strikes goes Tyler Becker to lead off the bottom of the 6th inning. And his first career strikeout for Derek Jagello comes against Tyler Becker. And as we did say, with Jose Matos now due up, he's got 3 plate appearances with an E7, 2 runs scored, hit by a pitch, and a walk. And that one is sent into left field in foul territory. That will drop in for a foul, count being 0-1. Bullpen is active for Southern Connecticut. Jagello lost control of that pitch, but the bullpen is active for Southern Connecticut. Looks as if that there is nobody in the Adelphi pen, but we have a tough time seeing it from the angle where we are right behind home plate, but could be wrong. So for those that can see, please let us know. That's going to bring up the catcher, Jack Ryan, with Matos on first with 1 out. Ryan is 0 for 1 with 3 plate appearances, 2 walks, 2 runs scored, and a fly ball to center field to end the 2nd inning. 2nd inning was an 8-run offensive slugfest for Adelphi, and Jack Ryan gets plunked. He's not too happy about that, and Tim Shea may have to come out a little sooner Head coach Dom Scala making sure that his catcher is okay. Looks like that he is. So runners will advance. Matos to second. Ryan to first. That's going to bring up the first baseman in Brandon Warwick, who has had a great game defensively. And on the plate, he's done his job. A run scored, a walk. And Tim Shea, head coach Tim Shea, was making his way nearly almost to the mound, you would figure, but he was awfully close to getting plunked there. He's sitting on the edge of the dugout, waiting to most likely get whoever is in the pen up and going and get Jagello out of this ball game with runners on first and second, one runner in scoring position. Here's the 0-1. Ball's in the dirt. Josh Wetman. Make sure he grabs that one to avoid the wild pitch or fastball, or pass ball, 1-1 is your count with one away. We'll give you the storylines of this contest in just a few moments, or what you have missed in a little summary at the turn of the next inning as Derek Jagello turns around and checks the runner at second, being Matos. Wipes some dirt off of himself. Here's the 1-1. That ball is sent into left field. That's going to fall in for a base hit. Matos rounds third, or thinks about rounding third, but then gets stopped by third base coach and by assistant coach Bill Ianciello. So now with the bases are loaded, Matos at third, Ryan at second, Warwick at first, and that's going to bring up the center fielder Cooper Johnson. Let's not forget the last time up, actually, this team had a bases loaded situation as well, and he hit a sacrifice fly. In the fifth inning. That ball is sent into center field. That's going to fall in for a base hit. One run scores, and that is Matos who will come in to score. And the lead for Adelphi now extends to 10, 14-4. So Cooper Johnson with a great job there off the barrel of his bat. And all the runners will advance, and head coach Tim Shea now heads out to the mound and will be summoning a pitcher and making a call to the bullpen, and it looks as if that it will be freshman right-handed pitcher Chad Fideli, Monroe, Connecticut native, Massac High School alum. Well, folks, head coach Tim Shea makes a call to the bullpen. We'll be right back on the opposite side of this break, 14-4, with the bases still loaded in favor of Adelphi, right here on any10now.tv. Well, head coach Tim Shea makes a call to the bullpen, and he summons right-handed pitcher Chad Fideli, who is making his collegiate debut as well. He was ranked the 19th ranked overall player in the state of Connecticut, played shortstop, and he was a right-handed pitcher at Massac High School. We'll get you some quotes from head coach Tim Shea shortly. But the bases are loaded with Nick Gavilla due up. And right now, 14-4, following the base hit into center field off of the barrel of Cooper Johnson. Count is 2-0. Nick Gavella takes that one. Count 3-0. 3-0 nice and early. And Nick Gavilla, has no place to go, so if there is a walk issued, which not just yet, but the count being 3-1, a run will come in to score via a walk or a hit, wherever it may be. Bottom of the 6th inning. With 1 out, 14-4 is the score. Gavilla takes a swing at that one. Zambito chases that one, and he misses that one! He overruns that one at the foul line, or at the line. My goodness, coming in to score is Jack Ryan. And the lead extends 15-4. I would assume they would call that an error, but it looks as if that they're calling that a hit. So they're calling that one a hit. So that one is going to be deemed an RBI, and this situation looks all too familiar for the at-batter right now, being the third baseman Matt Alifano, who in his last time up, he hit a grand slam. Could he do it again? I don't know. We'll see. But in the last time up, he did hit a booming grand slam into center field. 15-4, 1 out. Fideli on the mound, Alifano in the dish. Ball is thrown low, and to no one's surprise, obviously he's getting every single signal from that dugout, from his respective dugout, Fideli's that is, to throw away. Do not make anything go over the plate. The count's 1-1. That ball choppered foul just by head coach Tim Shea. Here's the 1-2. Ball's in the dirt and past Josh Wetman. But runners will stay, as that one should be scored a passed ball. And we'll get that in just a moment. That's what I would score it if I were Ian Schreier, but we'll see what he does. 2-2 is the ball strike count right now for Fideli, and he gets behind in the count. Count being full 3-2. Alifano in the dish again. He hit a grand slam his last bat up. Could he do it again? Here's the payoff from Fideli. Swung on and missed. Alifano is down on strikes. And a big out for the freshman righty out of Monroe, Connecticut, Chad Fideli. 2 down, and that brings up the second baseman, Anthony Cipri. As another bases loaded opportunity here to make something happen. (15-9-1). Adelphi 4-6-2 for Southern Connecticut State. So I had asked head coach Tim Shea about the possible difficulties of not being able to play and getting into a rhythm, and this is the first time that they are playing this entire season due to COVID as that ball is hit into right field. That is a liner directly to the right fielder, Peyton Farina. We'll give you the rest of that story when we return right here on any10now.tv. Following 6 full innings of play, 2 runs on 3 hits, no errors, and 3 runners left on base. Let's head to the top of the 7th inning. Wetman, Ferret, Drury due up when we return on any10now.tv. Adelphi University with an 11-run lead, 15-4. 4, 5, 6 hitters due up for Southern Connecticut State University. Wetman, Ferret, Drury. 15-4 in favor of Adelphi. And Rovner still on the mound. Top of the 7th inning we go here. Counts 1-0. Wetman takes ball 2. Count 3-1. Takes on that 3rd pitch. Wetman works a 5-pitch walk. That's going to bring up the 3rd baseman, Mike Ferret. One for 3, single into right. Swinging strikeout in the 1st inning. And a ground ball to Tyler Becker in the 5th inning. Mike Ferret, we brought up earlier that he's also a pitcher. Hamden, Connecticut. And he also has pitched for this team as well. 5.06 ERA, 5 1/3 innings pitched last year, 6 hits, 5 runs allowed, 3 of them were earned. A walk, 5 strikeouts, 2 doubles, 261 opposing batting average, and 2 appearances on the mound. Did allow 23 batters to appear while he was pitching. But while he is in the box currently, he does have a 3-1 ball strike advantage. Here's the 3-1 from Rovner. That ball is fouled back. Counts full 3-2. Chopper down the third base line, but foul. For a lot of these players on Southern Connecticut State, this is the first time that they are facing Adelphi University. That ball's hit directly to Becker. There's one. On to first. Not in time, as Anthony Cipri, like he bobbled that baseball. So that one should be listed as a 6-4 fielder's choice. Where Wetman is out at second for the first out. And it looks as if that head coach, Dom Scala, makes a call to the bullpen. Josh Rovner, his day is complete, and a really good day in relief for Adelphi. And it looks as if that head coach, Dom Scala, will be making a call to the bullpen, summoning sophomore right-handed pitcher Stephen Murphy. He will be coming into the contest, the sophomore lefty. We'll be right back on the opposite side of this break. We will give you some information about our newest pitcher. Head coach Dom Scala makes a call to the bullpen. And he summons the left-handed pitcher, Stephen Murphy. That ball is hit high by Drury. And Murphy grabs that one for the second out of the inning. For the P1. Last time out last week in game number 2 for Stephen Murphy. He pitched 1 1/3 inning, 2 hits, 3 strikeouts, 2 doubles in 35 total pitches. And his win-loss record right now is 1-0. And he does have 4 innings pitched on the season. Here is the 1-0 to Isaiah Walker, who, as we did bring up earlier, an RBI, 3 RBI, or bases clearing RBI double. Fly out to Tim Feliz in his first time up. And he was hit by a pitch as well. That ball is hit foul. Just into the on-deck circle, right by his teammate Tyshawn Diaz. Counts 1-2. Ball's inside. Here's the 2-2. Off-speed pitch. Is inside. Counts full 3-2. Runner on first is Mike Ferret. Here's the payoff for Murphy. Runner goes, obviously, but didn't matter anyway. Because it was ball 4. So now runners are at first and second with 2 away. And that's going to send up the shortstop, Tyshawn Diaz. Tyshawn Diaz last time up hit into an inning-ending 5-4-3 double play, which really worked out nicely as relief pitcher, well, really starting pitcher, but in relief in this game, Josh Rovner, he was absolutely ecstatic for the way that the defense came through for him in that contest. Count 1-2 on Tyshawn Diaz, 15-4. In favor of Adelphi. And it looks as if that Stephen Murphy plunks Tyshawn Diaz, and Tyshawn has a little bit of a quick ouch there as he trots to first base with the bases loaded. And that's going to bring up Zach Bedrzyk, who last season, this was the team's best hitter, statistically. And he was named the NE10 Rookie of the Week last year, February 17, 2020. We did bring up earlier that he led his team with a .526 batting average in 19 total plate appearances. 10 of those were hits. 5 doubles, 7 RBIs, 7 runs scored. Beacon Falls, Connecticut native. That ball is hit sky high. That one will probably go back. And just in front of Eddie Hall. We brought up earlier about some of the stories that we've heard from head coach Dom Scala, from head coach Tim Shea, but we didn't really get into a lot of it, and I think a lot of it has to do with, obviously, with the offensive explosions as Stephen Murphy now plunks Bedrzyk, and a run will come in to score, and Southern Connecticut State now narrows the lead to 10, 15-5. And it looks as if that head coach Dom Scala quickly comes out to grab his pitcher, Stephen Murphy. So we're going to get a call to the bullpen, and it looks as if that it will be senior right-handed pitcher Andrew Williams. We'll give you a little bit more about him when we return right here on any10now.tv. Your Adelphi Panthers ahead 15-5. Epoch Lacrosse is a U.S. design and technology company committed to exclusively creating the highest performing lacrosse equipment made and manufactured in the U.S. Through its innovation lab in Minneapolis, Epoch Lacrosse incorporates high-tech practices into its production, including 3D printing and utilizing carbon fiber. 2017-18 marked the first official season that Epoch Lacrosse is the official equipment sponsor of Adelphi men's lacrosse, while adding women's lacrosse last season. So we are six and 2/3 innings in here into this contest. And the way it looks right now is that we are going to see a new pitcher on the mound as head coach Dom Scala summons right-handed pitcher Andrew Williams, West Hempstead. He went to Nassau Community College. He also went to Kellenberg High School, played for head coach Larry Miner in Uniondale, so he is all too familiar with the area. This is his home. We'll get you some statistics later on. On Andrew Williams. And Andrew Williams in the 12-3 loss in game number 2. He came in 2/3 of an inning, allowed 3 hits, gave up 2 earned runs, a walk, a strikeout in 26 total pitches. His ERA now is at 6 as we head into the latter portion of the top of the 7th inning. 15-5 is the score. Bases are loaded. Bedrzyk at first, Diaz at second, Walker at third. This now brings up the leadoff man in Tony Zambito, who is 2 for 4 with a single, a run scored, another single, a stolen base, and 2 fly balls. 1 into right field and 1 to Anthony Cipri, the second baseman. A gorgeous afternoon here in Garden City. This is game number 1 of 2. And the second game is going to be a 7-inning game as that ball is hit directly to Tyler Becker, and he does hand that one directly to his second baseman, Anthony Cipri, for the 6-4 force. So, following 6.5 innings of play, the score is 15-5, but in that half inning alone, 1 run, no hits, no errors, and 3 runners are left aboard. Let's go to the bottom of the 7th, ladies and gentlemen. Stand up and stretch. We've got the 3, 4, 5 hitters, Feliz, Becker, Matos due up when we return on any10now.tv. 15-5, Adelphi leads over Southern Connecticut State. 3, 4, 5 hitters due up for Adelphi University. Tim Feliz leads things off, the right fielder. He is 1 for 4 on the afternoon, and he is now 2 for 5 on the afternoon following a line drive base hit into center field to lead things off in the bottom of the 7th inning. Shortstop Tyler Becker due up once again. And we did bring up just a few short moments ago when he was up, because the 6th inning they almost batted around the Panthers, that is. So the count being 0-1. This is Chad Fideli back on the mound for Southern Connecticut State. That ball is inside from Fideli. Just right by the knees of Becker. He does step back on that one. Count is 1-2. No outs. Feliz at first. That ball sent directly to second, on to first. That ball is not in time, as that throw from Diaz was high. So they got the 4-6 fielder's choice. Becker makes it to first. Feliz is out. With one away, that brings up the designated hitter, Jose Matos. So 15-5 is the score with one out. Runner is still on first base. Matos has 3 runs scored, by the way, as well. He has an error. He doesn't have an error, but the hit into left field was deemed an error in the 5th inning. He has a walk, he has a hit by a pitch, and he has another walk too. So in 4 total plate appearances, he is 0 for 0. That ball is hit sky high and into the bushes. 15-10-1 for Adelphi, 5-6-2 for Southern Connecticut State, a combined 20 runs and 16 hits. So the biggest storylines here, ladies and gentlemen, for Southern Connecticut State, Mike DiMartino, who is the 6th-year senior, and as head coach Tim Shea calls him, quote, a volunteer assistant coach at times when things go awry, he was out of the lineup or out at second base. We'll kind of give you this explanation as best as I can. But he was plunked by Tom Ambrosino. And following him being DiMartino getting hit on the ankle, he trotted down to first base. And then Mike Ferret had hit into center field. And DiMartino was unable to stand up following his run from first to second. And then he was replaced. He was unable to even put pressure on the foot. As Matos works a walk, Becker goes to second, and that brings up the catcher, Jack Ryan. So now with DiMartino being out and their biggest, probably the leader out, Josh Wetman replaced him behind the plate. And the second biggest storyline, or really the first biggest storyline, the biggest storyline, is sophomore third baseman Matt Alifano hitting a booming grand slam into center field that broke this game wide open in a 5-run 5th inning. That made it 13-4 at the time. Score now obviously being 15-5. And then also the third storyline of this contest is the right-handed pitcher of Tom Ambrosino did come out of the contest following an injury, more specifically to the elbow, it looked like, as he was pointing it directly to head coach Dom Scala and said, "I need a replacement." Then Josh Rovner would come in to relieve him. Josh Rovner, as we did say earlier in the broadcast, that he was slated to start Game 1 tomorrow, but unfortunately, due to inclement weather upcoming, those games have been moved back to April 8th and 14th, respectively. Both are slated to have a first pitch of 3:30 p.m. Eastern Time. So back to our ball game. 15-5 is the score. Jack Ryan at the dish. At second base, Tyler Becker, Matos at first. Jack Ryan. Here is the payoff from Fideli. That ball is sent into left field. That's going to fall in for a base hit. Trotting around third base to score is Tyler Becker. And Adelphi continues this offensive slugfest in this first contest of two, where they now have a 16-5 lead over Southern Connecticut State. So these are also the first few games, or this is the first series for Southern Connecticut State as well, where they were postponed in their first two games due to COVID-19 protocols and also due to their opponents having COVID-related issues within their respective programs to first originally play Bridgeport in the ECC. They were taken back by issues of COVID, and then following that, then St. Anselm, then they were postponed in that 4-game set due to COVID as well, which would have been last Saturday and Sunday. So they opened their season only by playing conference games. If you just missed that, it is now an 0-2 count. Runners did advance on the wild pitch. So Ryan now is at second. Matos is at third. Warwick at the dish. And he is out swinging for the second strike, for the second out of the inning. That's going to bring up the center fielder, Cooper Johnson. See what he can do here as he hit an RBI into center field. That was actually a string of 3 consecutive singles with Warwick, Johnson, and Gavilla consecutively in the last inning, or the last time up for Adelphi. And in 4 plate appearances, Cooper Johnson is 1 for 3 with a walk or run scored. And Chad Fideli does plunk his number counterpart in the Battle of Sevens. So now, once again, this is a very similar position for Nick Gavilla. Where in the last time up, it was also a bases loaded situation. He hit into left field for an RBI single into left, and he was able to score Matos and Ryan. And he is 2 for 2 on the afternoon in 4 plate appearances. 2 runs scored, 2 walks. He did get caught at second base, though, in the 3rd inning. 16-5. Event staff and game management getting a good workout here this afternoon. as foul balls keep on flying. Run differential for Adelphi plus 11 thus far. Counts 2-2 from Fideli, bases loaded. Nick Davila holds on. Here's the 2-2 from Fideli. High and upstairs. Count runs full, 3-2. Runners will go because there are 2 outs as well. 16-5. Let's see if he can get more on the board. High and upstairs, Gavilla walks, and he will bring in Jose Matos on the walk. And the contest now stands 17-5 in favor of Adelphi. Still 2 outs. Now it's going to bring up Alifano again, and we did bring up our number 2 storyline on this afternoon, or really number 1, if you will, where he hit a booming grand slam into center field to break this contest open and make it a score at the time 13-4. Since then, Adelphi has scored 4, and Southern Connecticut State has scored 1. Here's the 1-0. That ball is hit into center field. Coming on to grab that one is Ainge. He cannot. That one is going to fall in for a base hit. 2 runs will come in to score. Ryan and Cooper Johnson. A 2-run single for Matt Alifano, and the lead now is 19-5. So Ainge was unable to grab that one as it was hit into the gap. And on 12 hits, 19 runs have been scored. And Alifano, right now, has a total of 6 RBIs in this game alone. And it looks as if that Fideli had to grab that one. It was a chopper directly in front of the plate. Almost looked like a bunt, but it was not. And Anthony Cipri is done in that regard. A 1-3 for the 3rd out of the inning. Boy, where do we start here? 4 runs are scored on 3 hits, no errors, and 2 runners left on base. Let's head to the top of the 8th, folks, shall we? It is 19-5 in favor of Adelphi University. Right here from William J. Bonomo Memorial Field, you're watching this exclusive presentation of a slugfest here in favor of Adelphi University, right here on any10now.tv. We'll be right back on the opposite side of this break. Do not go away. 2, 3, 4 hitters due up when we return for Southern Connecticut State. And it looks as if that we are going to be getting a pinch hitter, and it is going to be junior third baseman Eric Ross. And 32 is the number coming in here for Peyton Farina. And he is going to be the pinch hitter. A little bit about Eric Ross, 6'2", 205-pound, Montville, Connecticut native. Last season, he appeared in 2 contests against Queens College. He went 0 for 1. That was in his last appearance of the COVID-19 shortened season. And in the contest before that, in his first appearance of the 2020 season, was against the now defunct NYIT Bears, New York Tech Bears, which is a very sad story to tell, but we'll do that later on. And when they were in the East Coast Conference. Since then, NYIT has shut down their athletic operations. There are a lot of people that we know. That ball is chopped right to the pitcher, and Andrew Williams for the first out. And now that's going to bring up the center fielder, Andrew Ainge, who really has seen his fair share of home runs with 2. And not really his fault, as that one is sky high, and a no-doubter looking up, and that ball is gone. Andrew Ainge with a booming home run, and not even having to move was Tim Feliz. My goodness, what a shot into right field. And with that home run, the lead for Adelphi is now down 19-6. Yeah, that one was a no-doubter, folks, for those that could see from home. And Tim Feliz, they saw that. Home plate umpire threw the ball right back. It was very evident that that ball was a goner. And it looks as if that we are going to see another pinch hitter here for Southern Connecticut State, and that's going to be sophomore catcher Kevin Lucy, who last year he only came in as a defensive replacement. This one is grounded to Cypri. Good for Warwick. That is a 4-3 for the aforementioned Lucy. And it looks as if that we've got another pinch hitter in junior outfielder Jared Smith, and that one is bounced directly to Andrew Williams, and that will do. So for the 1-3, that one is going to do it. And following at one point, or it was a short inning, short top of the 8th rather, 1 run, 1 hit. That was Andrew Ainge's booming shot into right field. No errors, no runners left on base. Let's go into the bottom of the 9th. We assume that we figure that there will probably be some changes, but who knows? If that's not the case, the 3-4-5 hitters due up. Feliz, Becker, Matos due up when we return on any10now.tv. 19-6 is the score, and it looks as if also we will see a call to the bullpen by head coach Tim Shea. We'll be right back on the opposite side of this break. So we discussed in the last game about how head coach Dom Scala is not really one for the dual position in terms of pitching and the position player. But that's not the case with head coach Tim Shea, because now he has made a call to the bullpen and he has summoned someone that actually was the designated hitter in Isaiah Walker. So let's go through what Isaiah Walker has done on the mound. And last season, he made his NCAA debut on the mound, and in general, his debut, against Queens on March 7th, 1 1/3 innings of work, 2 hits, a walk in total of 22 pitches. But this afternoon, in the batter's box, he hit a double in 4 total plate appearances, a walk, a hit by a pitch, and a fly ball into right field. And we will give you the exact ruling here, not even the ruling, as we see Tim Feliz fly ball into center field. And we do have a ton of changes here. Thank you to our good friend Ian Schreier, who just sent us everything here. So it looks as if that the left fielder Zambito is now at second base. Looks like Eric Ross is in left field. Kevin Lucy is now doing the catching. And it looks as if that Jared Smith is now in right field. And obviously now with the pitcher, who was the designated hitter, they now lose the designated hitter, and also the second baseman in Zach Bedryzik is now at third base. So if you can get all of that, folks, that is pretty good. So we'll definitely have to most likely update you on all of that shortly. So we want to thank our good friend Ian Schreier for that one, because that is fantastic that he was able to send that all to us in a timely manner and be able to get everything complete. Tyler Becker is now on here. Count being 2-2. So just to update everybody once again, is that Bedryzik now at third. And we'll give you the updated line in just a minute. Tyler Becker works a walk in the bottom of the 8th inning. And Jose Matos, 4 runs scored, 5 total plate appearances, 3 walks, a hit out into left field that was ruled an error on the then left fielder Zambito. And really right now, only two guys that head coach Tim Shea has left in place is Andrew Ainge and Isaiah Diaz. Or excuse me, Tyshawn Diaz. That ball sent into center field. Andrew Ainge on it. And he grabs that one, trying to block the sun out of his eyes for the second out. And it looks as if that we are going to be getting a pinch hitter. And it looks as if that we're getting very close with our home plate umpire friend Nick Thull here, who always signals to us, which really is fantastic. Sophomore catcher Henry Friedrich comes in, the Rye, New York native, against St. Thomas Aquinas in game number 2. He had one plate appearance with a walk. And he comes from an athletic family, where his brother Carl Jr., and I may have said that a little wrong. His father, Carl Sr., no one wants to think Carl's Jr., but Carl Sr. has played men's soccer and lacrosse at Union College. His brother, Carl Jr., played men's soccer at Franklin and Marshall, and his sister Hannah played women's soccer at Haverford. So might as well just get the core four, if you will, in terms of the athletic family, where all four have at one time or currently play sports. (19-6) in favor of Adelphi. This is Friedrich at the dish. He did not play last season, so his collegiate debut, was last Saturday in Game 2. That ball is hit right off of the glove of Walker. And Diaz throws that one out directly to Healy. Oh, that one is going to be a 6-3. Well, last licks coming up for Southern Connecticut State, as they are in a 13-run hole. 19-6 in favor of Adelphi University. Well, we'll get you back, and we're not even going to go into the batting order because who knows what else is going to change. We'll be back on the opposite side of this break. Do not go away. Top of the ninth due up when we return. The Adelphi University Department of Athletics is pleased to announce the launch of its new online store, www.adelphipanthersgear.com. Through a partnership with Advanced Online and Follett, Adelphi Panthers Gear features a wide range of clothing and merchandise featuring all of Adelphi's new branding marks. Parents, alumni, and students can enjoy all these items through a secure online ordering site and have the items shipped directly to their door within 5 business days. Check out Adelphi Panthers Gear today. Once again, that's www.adelphipanthersgear.com. 19-12-1 in favor of Adelphi, 6-7-2 for Southern Connecticut State University. Right now on the mound is number 25, Stephen Proko, sophomore right-handed pitcher. Head coach Dom Scala makes his, we figure, or we hope so, final call to the bullpen. Bayville, New York native, Holy Cross High School. Last time around, against St. Thomas Aquinas in Game 1, he threw a total of 19 pitches, allowed 3 walks. And last season, in only one game played against Stonehill, which was their last 2 games of the shortened COVID-19 season, he had 1 full inning of work. He gave up a run, a hit, and a strikeout in the official last game of the season last year. So with a bunch of changes, it looks as if that there are a bunch of changes here that we see, and we will get that to you in just a quick moment. It looks as if that obviously we do see Henry Friedrich who did pinch hit. He is now doing the catching duties. And that ball is a fly ball into center field. 1 away. And that one was Healy. So now the pitcher will be batting. So Ryan Piccarello at first base. As well as Alex Rendy taking over at shortstop for Tyler Becker. Everyone else for right now looks to be the same. Isaiah Walker, who, as we did say, is pitching and hitting. So the designated hitter is gone for the remainder of the game. 1 out, top of the 9th inning, 19-6. So we brought up earlier about head coach Dom Scallon and what we spoke to him about. And his biggest thing, that was the first thing that he said when he answered the phone, was Adelphi baseball is not built to be embarrassed. And I had asked him also about the trips to switch pitchers, and he did it a whole lot in the last game where I believe it was 6 or 7 different pitchers, and I think at times there were 8 different pitchers. And I asked him, I said, is this something that we expect to see? Because the numbers indicate that things are not doing great on the mound. And he said, quote, "Can we see if these guys are capable of doing it?" Which is a rough and a brutally honest answer, because at times when you look at the score from last week, a combined 21-5, 9-2 in the first game and 12-3, can your pitchers come in to do the work? And we asked him about the relief pitchers, and he said, quote, "Our relievers have to come in and do the job. It's the mental toughness that has to come in on the mound." And possibly that could have been the issue last week once things went awry. And maybe the pitchers were unable to get their mental toughness ahead of the game. And they had a light practice yesterday. They were off on Thursday. They had an inter-squad game on Tuesday, and every single pitcher on the roster pitched at least 1 inning. And he said, quote, when we asked him about what he expects of this game, "Actions speak louder than words. We are going to play competitive baseball." And I think his team not only listened to that, and I think he also told them that they will be playing competitive baseball, and a 19-run explosion is pretty good. Proco allows a walk to Tyshawn Diaz. Still one out. Zach Bedryzik is due up. We also spoke about, if you're just joining us as well, this is game 1 of 2 on the afternoon. Tomorrow's doubleheader is postponed and will be made up April 8th and April 14th, respectively. You will have me on April 14th if everything still stands and weather is still okay, which is, we are hoping that is the case. They check the runner at first, being Friedrich. And Piccarello standing off the bag there. So we are approaching over 3 hours of game number 1. Count being 1-2 on Bedryzik. Ball's in the dirt. Friedrich is able to handle that one. Walker at second. Tyshawn Diaz at first. Counts full at 3-2. Tony Zambito is on deck, the new second baseman. He was playing in left field for a good chunk of the day. And Proko walks Bedryzik, and now the bases are loaded. So 2 consecutive walks issued by Steven Proko. And that's going to bring up Tony Zambito with the bases loaded with 1 out. Pitch outside, count 1-0. Ahead in the count is Proko. Walker at third, Diaz at second, Bedryzik at first. Zambito at the dish. Friedrich behind the plate. Proko on the mound. Here's the 1-2. Fastball upstairs. Outside, count runs full. Proko in danger of walking in a run. With the bases loaded, nowhere to put Zambito. One swing at the bat could end this game for Adelphi. And instead, Zambito works a walk. And Southern Connecticut State tallies their 7th run, as the score of this contest is now 19-7. Trip out to the mound. Now the left fielder, Eric Ross. Now steps in. Count 1-0. Steven Proko having a little bit of an issue with placement right now. Ball's a called strike. The sophomore right-handed pitcher. When he was in high school, he was a top 100 selection in 2019 by Newsday. He's an Access Baseball preseason all Long Island pitcher. He's majoring in business as well. On the flip side for Eric Ross in the dish, majoring in accounting. Count runs full, 3-2. Bases remain loaded. Diaz at third, Bedrosic at second, Zambito at first. Top of the ninth inning. Last licks for Southern Connecticut. And Eric Ross works a walk. And we'll see if head coach Dom Scala, and it looks as if that Henry Friedrich will head out to the mound, and it looks as if that head coach Dom Scala will as well. And it looks as if that we will see a pitching change for Adelphi. It is 19-8 is the score. Head coach Dom Scala makes a call to the bullpen. We'll be right back on the opposite side of this break. 19-8 is your score in favor of Adelphi. 1 out. Head coach Dom Scala makes a call to the bullpen with his team in front, 19-8. He summons sophomore right-handed pitcher Chris Price-Stupa, who in the last game against St. Thomas Aquinas, he registered 1 inning pitched, or 1 inning of work, a walk, a strikeout, and 23 pitches. And coincidentally, for a lot of these players, it was their their NCAA debut, because in 2020 they did not play due to the shortened campaign due to COVID-19. Counts 2-0 right now. And that ball is sent into right field. That will fall in for a base hit. That is Feliz at the wall. Coming in to score is Zambito and Bedrizik. Eric Ross is heading to third. And the lead for Adelphi is now down to 19-10. And that will bring up sophomore catcher Kevin Lucy. Last season he was in there for defensive replacements at Queens, the last game of the season for him. And then on February 22nd at the aforementioned defunct NYIT Bears, made a pinch hitting appearance, 0 for 1 with a strikeout at the time. North Haven, Connecticut native. Eric Ross at third, Ainge at second, Kevin Lucy at the dish. 19-10 is the score, 29 total runs. That ball is sent into center field. Going onto the warning track is Cooper Johnson. Tagging is Eric Ross. He will score. And Adelphi's lead continues to get smaller, where Southern Connecticut State has scored their 11th run. Adelphi now leads 19-11. Runner moves up. Ainge at third, but 2 away in this 5-run top of the 9th inning, as their comeback is far from over. It's going to bring up the right fielder, Jared Smith. That ball is sent directly to the shortstop, and that should do it. It does. So Alex Rendy grabs that last one, and Adelphi stops and breaks their 4-game losing streak. 19-11 in favor of Adelphi at the end of Game 1. Game number 2, as we just heard from head coach Dom Scala, will come underway in roughly 25 minutes. Your final stat line here, folks, 19-12-1 for Adelphi, 11-9-2 for Southern Connecticut State. The ones left on base, Southern Connecticut has left 12 runners on base, while Adelphi left a total of 8. 19-11 is your final score. We'll be back in roughly 25 minutes for game number 2. For a recap of this contest and a replay of this contest, log on to any10now.tv, but please come back in 25 minutes for game number 2 as Nicholas Luke and Zach Rogers do battle on the mound when we return in just a few minutes right here on any10now.tv. Adelphi with the 19-11 Game 1 victory here from William J. Bonomo Memorial Field.